यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जना यामुनतीरावनचारी यामुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमद शिलाभयचरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की अंतरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 7, Text number 20. Please repeat. Daityaha Namna Trinavartaha Kamsabrityaha Pranoditaha Chakravata Swarupena Jahara Asinam Aharbakam Daityo Namna Trinavartaha Daityo Namna Trinavartaha Kamsabhrityah Pranoditaha Kamsabhrityah Pranoditaha Chakravata Swarupena Jaharasinam Arbakam Jaharasinam Arbakam Daityo Namna Trinavartaha Kamsabhrityah Pranoditaha Chakravata Swarupena Jaharasinam Arbakam. Mataji's. Daityaha. Daityaha. Another demon, Namna, by the name Trinavartaha, Trinavartasura, Kamsavrityaha, the servant of Kamsa, Pranoditaha, having been induced by him, Chakravada Swarupena, in the form of a whirlwind, Jahara, swept away, Asinam, the sitting, Arbakam, child. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Founder Acharya, ISKCON and BPT. Translation. While the child was sitting on the ground, a demon named Trinavarta, who was a servant of Kamsa's, came there as a whirlwind at Kamsa's instigation and very easily carried the child away into the air. Purport. Krishna's heaviness was unbearable for the child's mother, but when Trinavartasura came, he immediately carried the child away. This was another demonstration of Krishna's inconceivable energy. When the Trinavarta demon came, Krishna became lighter than the grass so that the demon could carry him away. This was Ananda Chinmaya Rasa, Krishna's blissful transcendental pleasure. ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं भङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकासस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। दैत्यो नाम्ना तृणावर्तः कंसभृत्यः प्रणोदितः चक्रवात स्वरूपेण जहारासीनम अर्भकम्। Translation. While the child was sitting on the ground, a demon named Trinavarta, who was a servant of Kamsa's, came there as a whirlwind at Kamsa's instigation and very easily carried the child away into the air. Srila Jiva Goswami makes a point that Kamsa first sent Putana, then Shakatasura, now Trinavarta. So Putana had form, in fact she changed her form, so she had a gross body. So as a result, Krishna killed her. So Kamsa thought, let me send a subtler form of demon. So he sent Shakatasura, who didn't have gross body, and Krishna killed also Shakatasura. Now he thought, let me send a demon which is having both gross and subtle. So you can say whirlwind having a form and not having a form. So and he's going to get defeated again. So ultimately, gross, subtle, everything is energy. So there's no way we can trick Krishna. So Prabhupada mentions that these are all his demonstrating Krishna's inconceivable energy, Achintya Shakti. Uh, so just this Shakti uh, is such a power that every question is answered with this answer. Achintya Shakti. Uh, how Krishna can do that, how God would have done this, how God could do this, for all such questions, just this one answer, Achintya Shakti, can give answer. You know. So we are famously celebrating this Damodar pastime for 30 days. Damodar, you can understand how it is also a very beautiful expression of Lord's Achintya Shakti. Lord is known for his opulence, Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Shriya Jnanam, Vairagyasya, Chandam Bhagaitingana. Parasharamuni, father of Vyasadeva, gives definition of who is Bhagavan. So if you see, analyze this pastime in relation to the shloka, Damodar pastime. So the all-powerful Lord, or for that matter, all Krishna Lila, you can see, the uh, uh, all knowledgeable Lord. Okay, we will analyze one quality. So the all knowledgeable Lord is learning how to crawl from Mother Yashoda. So he's learning in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj how to crawl. And the all riches, who is Lakshmipati, is stealing butter. Doesn't have money to buy butter. Stealing butter. And the all powerful, all strong, Supreme Lord, who is the strength of the all strongest men, he is getting tired, is getting arrested by not CBI or the, how you call, American FBI. So they are not getting, Krishna is not getting arrested by some big powerful agency. He's getting arrested by an ordinary village woman. You don't expect the World Wrestling Federation champion or the boxing champion, will get tied by a ordinary village woman. But here you can see Krishna, who is million times stronger than the so-called strong people in this world, is getting tied by an ordinary village girl and village woman. And he's running out of fear of Mother Yashoda, just because she's having stick, running out of fear. So how do you understand all these things? The all beautiful Lord is dark in color, black. So, and all renounced Lord. Renunciation means should not have any bad qualities. That's what is a renounced person mean. So the all renounced Lord is exhibiting all anarthas. What anarthas? He is exhibiting his lust, that he wants butter, and when he doesn't get, he is expressing his anger, and then he is lamenting, which is all anarthas. Lust, anger, greed, crying, all these things are anarthas. So if somebody is renounced, he should not have all these qualities. So Lord is exhibiting all contradictory qualities. So, and the all famous Lord, sixth quality. So when we do some mischievous activity and when we are caught, first thing we try to see is, more than feeling bad for the mischievous act, we will see that if anybody else is seeing I getting chastised for my mistake, so we make sure that others don't know that we got caught. First we try to hide our mischievous activity. Next, if we get caught, then we make sure others don't know. Such an ego we have. So here when Lord is getting caught, getting arrested, so he is advertising as a festival. Oh, I got caught, now celebrate. Not one day, 30 days. make it a big festival. Why it is so? Why it is not celebrated 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 30 days? Because so ultimately he does all these things to please his devotees, to show the power of bhakti. It's not by shakti but by bhakti that you can control Lord. Uh, Bhritya Vashyata, that he becomes servant of his devotees. Power of, there's a competition. Usually there's a competition between devotees and demons. Asuras versus Suras. And Krishna is in the side of Suras and he makes them to win. Now here competition is between devotee and Sura. Sorry, between Lord. Devotee and Lord. Lord is running, devotee is chasing. So there's a competition between Bhakti, Bhagavan and Bhakta. BBB. And who wins? Initially Krishna wins, but then ultimately who wins? Krishna didn't allow to get tied. So, but then ultimately who wins is because of the bhakti of the Bhakta, Bhagavan gets defeated. So the Supreme Lord shows that how bhakti is powerful, more than Bhagavan. That he gets completely under the control of his devotee. So it's amazing. Who can explain all these things? People complain only on Ras Leela, but actually they should complain on every Leela. They should create controversy. They should complain on each and every pastime of Supreme Lord. Why only Ras Leela? Everything is contradictory. Why Yashoda was unable to tie Krishna? Because we cannot tie the universe, right? What is the circumference of the universe? It's so vast. Krishna showed, Guru Maharaj in Damodarashtaka seminar, he said that Krishna showed all universe in his mouth, inside his mouth. So something which is inside only he can show. So all universe is within him. He ate, or you can say in the form of Vishnu, from his navel, the lotus sprout, and within the stem of the lotus, all 14 universes are created. So everything is in the stomach of Vishnu, the stomach of Krishna. So how can you tie the universe? But Yashoda tied. So it's very difficult how to understand. One moment he was weightless, another moment he exhibited so heavy. So Guru Maharaj said that once an atheist asked a question that can God create a rectangle which is having all four sides equal? So can God create something which he cannot lift? This was asked to Srila Prabhupada. Can God create a universe or something which he cannot lift? So this is a flaw. There's a problem with the question. So Guru Maharaj replied that it is like telling that can you create a rectangle which is having four sides equal side? Rectangle by definition means only the opposite sides are equal. If four sides are equal, that's called as square. So how God can create something which he cannot lift? This is a foolish question. So the question is wrong. So you are asking that God can create something. So Prabhupada also answered this in another way that yes, God can create something which he cannot lift, but next moment he can expand his energy and he can lift also. So in both ways you can answer this question, but ultimately we can understand this Achintya Shakti can answer all the question. If we don't know any answer for any particular question, simply use this word Achintya. Everything is answered. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's gift. You can answer all the questions. Achintya Bheda Bheda. So God's inconceivable energy. So Prabhupada said, this is yet another demonstration of Krishna's inconceivable energy. And he has many reasons. We saw in previous purports that Krishna didn't want Yashoda to feel that difficulty. Krishna knew that Trinavarta is coming and is going to take Krishna. So, but if Krishna is going to be in the hand of Yashoda, and if Trinavarta comes and takes by force from Yashoda's hand, Yashoda will feel so disturbed that he didn't want Yashoda to feel that. So therefore, Krishna made an arrangement such a way that she will leave Krishna aside. Uh, and this Trinavarta also we can see he created such a dust so that even other devotees of Vrajavasi don't see this horror, so that they lament more. So a lot of uh, explanations we can see. Usually, so devotee asura is covering. So usually Krishna covers demons, but here demon is covering devotees. Uh, so this doesn't happen, right? So, but actually Krishna has covered this asura out of pride. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioning that this Trinavarta is a representation of a false pride which has arisen due to the material knowledge, which results material scholarships, which results in bogus philosophy. So anybody speaks bogus philosophy is a representative of Trinavarta asura. Uh, so, so this is the point that so for Yashoda, what was difficult, the demon here achieved it at ease. So usually we see the other way around, that there's a shloka from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Katanchana smrite yasmin vismritam shukaram bhavet Sri Chaitanya namamitam. What is the third line? Duskritam shukaram bhavet. Katanchana smrite yasmin duskritam shukaram bhavet vishmrate viparitam syat Sri Chaitanya namamitam. Things that are very difficult to do becomes easy to execute if one somehow or other simply remembers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But if one doesn't remember him, even easy things becomes very difficult. To this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my respectful obeisances. Usually we see the opposite. What is difficult for demons becomes easy for devotee. But here you can see for Yashoda, who is a devotee, it was difficult to carry Krishna, but it became easy for the demon. So we may see something, demons doing amazing feats, achieving amazing tasks. So we may wonder how they get strength. Krishna may empower them. Maya may empower them. Krishna empowers or Maya empowers. We will see at the end who is empowering. So, and the more high he goes, more days in Puttur. Puttur is famous for getting treatment for the broken bones. So Trinavarta Asura, Krishna didn't give him opportunity to get admitted in Puttur because he killed. So the more high it is, the more fall. That we know. Pride comes before the fall. So that's exactly it's conveyed. So because of his ignorance, he thought he is going to kill Krishna, and Krishna allowed him to go so high. So he wants to have a play, but at the same time, he wants to kill in a very nasty way. So this is Krishna's multitasking. So many things he will achieve. So it may appear as if the demons are getting empowered so much, but it's Maya's empowerment. It's not Krishna's empowerment. So this so-called going high, we will see at the end what is the net result. Ultimately, they all lose, they all die. Nothing is going to be gained. So this is not empowerment. We can't compete. This Prabhupada will explain that all these yogis, they become, not all yogis, but these demons through yogic meditation, they achieve these siddhis. So yogi versus Yogeshwara, how it is possible? From Yogeshwara they get yogic powers, And after getting yogic powers, can they compete Yogeshwara? Not possible. So they'll get defeated. Uh, so seeing this amazing purport, so Prabhupada, this is from Adi Leela, 14th chapter, first verse. So Prabhupada is writing in his book Chaitanya Chandramrita Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati says, one who receives a little favor from the Lord becomes so exalted that he does not even care for liberation, which is sought after by many great scholars and philosophers. Similarly, a devotee of Lord Chaitanya considers the residence in the heavenly planets a willow the wisp. He surpasses the perfection of mystic yoga power because for him the senses are the snakes with broken fangs. A snake is a very fearful and dangerous animal because of his poison fangs, but if these fangs are broken, the appearance of a snake is no cause for fear. The yoga principles are meant to control the senses, but there is no scope for the senses of one engaged in the service of the Lord to be dangerous like snakes. These are the gifts of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Hari Bhakti Vilasa confirms that difficult things become easy to understand if one remembers Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And easy things becomes very difficult to understand if one forgets him. We actually see that those who are very great scientists in the eyes of the general public cannot understand the very simple idea that life comes from life because they do not have the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we should go to ISRO and distribute prasadam. All these scientists should get halwa so that they may start understanding Krishna consciousness. They defend the false understanding that life comes from matter, although they cannot prove that is the fact. The modern civilization, therefore, progressing on the basis of this false scientific theory, is simply creating problems to be solved by the so-called scientist. The author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita takes shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to describe the pastimes of his appearance as a child, because one cannot write such transcendental literatures by mental speculation. One who writes about the Supreme Personality of Godhead must be especially favored by the Lord. Simply by academic qualification, it is not possible to write such literatures. So, with our material qualities, if we think that we can get something spiritual, achieve something spiritual, if we think that we can please Krishna just with our material abilities, that is simply useless endeavor. That is what we understand, Prabhupada is mentioning. So, rather, we can see if Krishna gives us blessings, even an ordinary devotee can become so advanced, can inspire so many devotees, can ultimately go back home, back to Godhead. So, this is what the shloka explains us. Just by being a devotee, easy things, difficult things become easy. But rather, if you are not a devotee, difficult, even an easy thing will become difficult. So that is what we can see in Srila Prabhupada's life. So how much struggle he undertook to preach Krishna consciousness, and ultimately Krishna empowered Srila Prabhupada because of Srila Prabhupada's desire and devotion, that he could achieve such a task of opening so many temples in such a short time, distributed so many books, made so many devotees all around the world. So this is power of Srila Prabhupada, and not only Krishna empowered Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada also in turn empowered so many of his devotees to achieve amazing tasks. And the parampara continues. So those who are sticking seriously and taking Srila Prabhupada's instruction, they can be empowered. That we can see. Those who are having that spiritual strength, they getting empowered. Recently I was hearing memories, Srila Prabhupada memories from His Grace Shyam Sundar Prabhu. So he was mentioning about the temple which they were building. Which temple is that? Shyam Sundar Prabhu struggled hard to build the temple, and Prabhupada said, put his name, that this was due to the hard work of Shyama Sundar Das Adhikari. I forgot the temple. Which temple is that? So because of the hard struggle of Shyam Sundar Prabhu, so Srila Prabhupada mentioned to devotees that to put a brass plate which says that this temple was built due to the hard work of His Grace Shyam Sundar Adhikari. So when Shyam Sundar Prabhu was telling this, tears came from his eyes, and he mentioned that this kind of struggle, this kind of endeavor, having faith in the words of spiritual master is missing nowadays in the movement. That we don't see that people take such a risks, such an endeavor uh, uh, to please Srila Prabhupada. This is missing in today's movement. So if we have such desire, if we want to do something, please something, if any devotee wills sincerely without any false desires, then definitely Krishna will empower because uh, Srila Prabhupada wanted it. So anything Srila Prabhupada wanted, Krishna will definitely do. Uh, and this is what Srila Prabhupada wanted, to spread this Krishna conscious movement, uh, uh, spread his teachings, distribute his books. So this is what Srila Prabhupada wanted, and any devotee who desires what to please Srila Prabhupada, Krishna will definitely empower him. Then the difficult tasks will become easy. So Srila Prabhupada in another Chaitanya Charitamrita purport, so he mentioned that so this Krishna consciousness movement was spread in such a short time. Even karmis were so much surprised how this was possible. But then Srila Prabhupada in the purport he said that it took 5 years. But then we can ask, why does Krishna have to take 5 years? In 5 days he can spread his name and fame all over the world like a wildfire. Those who have faith in and devotion to Krishna can understand that these things happen so wonderfully by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are simply the instruments. In the fierce battle of Kurukshetra, Arjuna was victorious within 18 days simply because Krishna's grace was on his side. So if the preachers of Krishna conscious movement are serious devotees of Krishna, Krishna will always be with them because he is very kind and favorable to all his devotees. Just as Arjuna and Krishna were victorious in the battle of Kurukshetra, this Krishna conscious movement will surely emerge victorious if we but remain sincere devotees of the Lord and serve the Lord according to the advice of the predecessors, the six Goswamis and other devotees of the Lord. As Narottam Das Thakur has stated, Tandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Shanevas, Janama Janama Hoy E Abhilash. The Krishna conscious movement must always desire to remain in the society. The Krishna consciousness devotees must always desire to remain in the society of devotees. Bhakta Shanevas. They cannot go outside the Krishna conscious society or movement. Within the society, we must try to serve the predecessors by preaching Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's cult and spreading his name and fame all over the world. If we attempt this seriously within the society, it will be successfully done. There is no question of estimating how this will happen in the mundane sense, but without a doubt, it happens by the grace of Krishna. So, it's amazing purport. So devotees, we can see those who are empowered and doing so much service. We can understand that they have got the grace of the Lord. They have had that sincere desire to please Krishna. Otherwise, it's not so easy in Kali Yuga to do any such things. So if we feel that we are unable to do such tasks, then we should see that are we desiring so seriously, and of course, Srila Prabhupada said it should be within Krishna consciousness movement. It should see that they are following the predecessors acharyas. So quality and quantity both are important. Achieve big things, but in a way which was instructed by our previous acharyas, not in a very whimsical way. Otherwise, false philosophy. If we preach bogus philosophy, false philosophy, then we are representative of this asura. We may go high, we may get so many subscribers, we may get so many likes, followers, but then it is just time that is separating before our fall. So this is what we have to understand very clearly. So preach proper philosophy. No need to preach any bogus philosophy. Simple, straightforward. Recently, I was seeing a interview. How you call this podcast? podcast. So one famous Karmi YouTuber is questioning one of our sannyasi uh, about the war situation which is happening now. Why uh, poor people, children are suffering. So what is the reason? Hmm. So the devotee started explaining that yes, definitely we feel. Then he was asking, is it karma the cause? So this devotee answered, Maharaj, that yes, we feel first of all that we feel very much compassionate to such as a sadhu, as a renunciate. We feel very much compassionate to these suffering souls. And then he started saying that see, karma is a concept. We should not use, we should not speak in such a way that gives pain to the suffering hearts. This should be a concept which we should say to inspire people to do good. Uh, so if you do now something good, tomorrow you get good results. This is how you have to use this concept of karma. You should not say, this concept to explain somebody that you did something wrong and therefore you're suffering. Uh, and then we don't know what is Krishna's plan. Things like that. Some and then some story to say that that something wrong had happened to somebody. Initially it looked like something very sorrow, but ultimately, that wrong act became, led him to a successful life. Some story like that. So I don't know how we can explain this when somebody dies. Where is success after you die? Uh, so he is trying to explain all these things in this way. And again, the interviewer is questioning. So what about karma? You know, why they are suffering? He is trying to push this concept of karma, but our sannyasi is not answering. You know, so I don't know how to explain these things. So why to speak any bogus philosophy? Such a simple, yeah, you can explain. Okay, when somebody is suffering, when some uh, it definitely pains, but then you can say philosophy which will relieve their pain ultimately. You can say if you surrender to Krishna, all our karma will be destroyed. Any sinful person can achieve, can get purified completely and get higher results. Uh, uh, so there's so many positive, even positive, everything is positive in Krishna's philosophy, but you can put these things. Uh, So just because somebody is suffering more and somebody is suffering less doesn't mean that somebody who is suffering less has is more pure. He's just getting a part of his reactions. We don't know what is in store. So this just doesn't mean that somebody who is less suffering is definitely more purer than somebody who is more suffering. We can also explain this. It's philosophy. Uh, so you can explain philosophy without hurting. What is the harm? Krishna is very merciful. So why to hide the philosophy? When a karmi is trying to push this concept of karma, we don't accept it clearly, we don't put it clearly. Uh, so it's very difficult to understand. So many YouTube stars are there, even within ISKCON. They don't even mention Krishna, uh, cover Krishna. Trinavarta here covered Krishna also, covered all devotees. So they put everything, they cover Krishna, Bhagavad Gita without Krishna, Bhagavad Gita minus Krishna. What is that? Bhagavad Gita minus Krishna. Uh, so, so they may have so many followers. Hmm. So, but what is the use? They are displeasing Srila Prabhupada, they are displeasing Krishna. So there is no use in doing such preaching. So therefore, we should be very careful. Yes, we have to preach and we have to become big, but then it should be in line with as Prabhupada said, the predecessors, acharyas, follow their instructions and preach this message purely. So Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Any questions, comments, mistakes?
I was thinking that. Yeah, he was compromised somewhat. So, when we're preaching the philosophy, we have to speak the truth. Yeah, we shouldn't compromise, even if it's a bit unpalatable, because otherwise, how people will benefit? They'll remain in their ignorance. They'll remain in the disease condition. So it's our obligation is to present the truth, even if it's a little uncomfortable for them. Yeah. I think that's a good point. I just want to make another point about Shamasunda and that temple. There's also another instance where Prabhupada had an engraving put on the Vrindavan temple to honour Guru Kripa Swami and Yasodhananda Swami, because they collected all the money for that temple. They went to a lot of trouble in preaching in Japan, collecting millions of dollars to build that temple. So like you say, devotees that surrender to their spiritual master and take full shelter of him, they can become empowered, and they can do things seemingly greater than their spiritual master even. Seemingly. Of course, everything, it's like Prabhupada seemingly did more than Bhaktisiddhanta, but he always said that it's only by the grace of my spiritual master that I was able to achieve such a wonderful thing. And the last thing I wanted to mention was you mentioned about the demons having so much power, and that's a reflection of that's Maya's power. I think you said it's not Krishna's energy. But in Prabhupada's time, when Prabhupada was introduced to famous people, like presidents or very rich aristocratic people, he would always offer them all respect, and then he would say that because they're representative of Krishna, they're empowered by Krishna. So how do you reconcile that with what you've said about the demons, that power is coming from Maya? That's the question.
So, if the end result is to please Krishna, if our empowerment is used to please Krishna, then we can say Krishna is empowered. But if the empowerment has taken him away from Krishna, so then it is Maya's empowerment, but ultimately it's Krishna's empowerment. Yeah. So Maya is also Krishna's energy. Yeah. So I think we can say in that way.
We shouldn't think that if someone's very rich or very powerful that they're in Maya. That's all I'm saying. Right? We should respect them, knowing that they've achieved that by the grace of Krishna. Therefore, they're due some respect. Yeah. So, just wanted to mention that.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.